Welcome to the Real Board Loft. I'm Trip Foreman, and this is the Roberts Dream Machine. Talk a little bit about where this board came from and how it performs on the water. We just had Robert Weiner in town of Roberts Surfboards, and 3 action-packed days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Really good swell in town, probably 8 hours a day in the water, so plenty of time to test this board out and let you know what it surfs like. First is, where did this board come from? Where did the Dream Machine come from? The Dream Catcher, the Roberts Dream Catcher, an incredibly popular board right now with Roberts. A lot of people gravitating towards that shape and loving it, and a lot of people saying, hey, this board is like my favorite board. I want to have a board, one board down from the Dream Catcher. So that's where the need for this board came up, the Dream Machine. So this is basically a step down from the Dream Catcher. You can see it has a lot of the same real rounded outline and a round tail as the Dream Catcher, but obviously everything is in a little bit more generous proportions. When you're looking at this board, what's it going to do as far as the performance? The performance of this board, you step it down like we've seen Dream Catchers, even with somebody as big as Robert, who's over 200 pounds, riding his Dream Catcher in 2 to 3 foot surf and not really even all that impressive surf. So this thing needs to work all the way down to the bottom of the range and then obviously have a little bit of overlap with the Dream Catcher. So in order to do that, on the Dream Machine, they made the nose a little bit wider, the entire board wider. Obviously went with that round tail again, but kept that wider. Again, went with a 5-fin setup. And then the rocker itself throughout the board is flatter. So you can see, I think I might be able to get it across the board left here. You can see the board's flatter compared to the Dream Catcher, and then it has that signature flip just in the front of the nose right here, and then also this nice roll in the rails. So if you look at this nose and you look how here the rail really falls off, and you got that 50-50 edge up there, no hard points or downturn rails or edges to catch anywhere. So with this board, you can still take, even though the rocker you would look at it and think, oh, I can't do a late drop on this, you could still do a late drop, and it's almost as if the nose just skips off the bottom of the wave and doesn't grab. So compared to a lot of my grovelers, I did notice, like when we did get the set waves, we had set waves that were up around head high and hollow, that if it was a late drop and the board was pointed at the bottom of the wave rather than diagonally across it, this board would make it, where a lot of my other flatter gravel boards wouldn't have made it. They definitely would have knifed in and pitched me over the front. The round tail, and a lot of people feel this in the Dream Catcher, the round tail has a nice roll through the turns. So whether it's your bottom turn or your top turn, connecting everything, it just rolls off those corners of the tail, makes it nice and smooth through the turns. Squash tails or square tails tend to be more abrupt and more pivotal in their turns, where the round tail has a really nice smooth turn. So a lot of people, for their first round tail, they'll come back to saying, oh, I absolutely love this board. It makes everything feel a lot smoother. When you're looking at the overall range of this board, I would say that there are boards out there that can go on their own, like with a more passive surfing style in smaller waves. So in order to do that, you would want to have a dead flat board with maybe even some belly in the bottom and a big tail. And that board would actually go on its own and create some horsepower with very little input from the surfer. This board is more of a high performance ride and a high performance feel than a full-on bottom of the wave spectrum gliding groveler. So in order to do that, there's a single concave right here underneath the logo, and then it goes into a deep double right here, right in front of the fins, and then it goes into a V back near the tail. And so this board, you wouldn't ride it as big volume-wise as a flat or a little bit of a convex bottom, but you would ride it more than your go-to everyday shortboard or your step-up. So to give you an example, on on a Lost Couch Potato or a Lost Lazy board where they have flat bottoms up front, on those boards I'm riding 42 liters of volume or high 41s. In this board I'm riding 40.5 liters, and this is a stock 510. And then when I go to my Dream Catcher in good waves, I'm at 38.5. So you can see that step, 41.5 for flat bottom, 40.5 for concave groveler, and then 38.5 for if the waves are good. So comparing it again to that, to that bottom of the line groveler, just to get the very smallest waves, this board does have glide that's similar to those boards, but it definitely feels a little bit better with just adding a little bit of input because of that planing bottom on it to have like the concaves. It likes a little bit of surfer input, and if you give it that surfer input, it can attain higher speeds and get a little bit more radical in the turns. And then by having this outline, by having the flip in the nose and the rolled nose shape, and then also by having this round tail, you can take it into better surf than you can a bottom, a baseline bottom of the wave range groveler. So if it is your only board, if you're living in a place where, hey, I'm just going to get one board and that's all I'm going to have, this board's going to have more range, especially if you're going to get a few days that would have been out of the range of a normal grovel board. The board is set up as a 5-fin. We did ride it both ways throughout the course of the weekend. Initially had it set up as a quad. It's definitely faster down the line as a quad. The tail is pulled in enough, like right in the back, right here, like from where my hands are further back, that you can ride it as a tri, and it actually worked effectively as a tri as well. You did lose a little bit of speed, but the board felt really connected in the turns, especially at really high speeds, to be able to do like full rail carves back up into the pocket. These fins right here, this is the Roberts large 5-fin set, so it has the Roberts large front, and when I was tri, I also had a Roberts large trailer, and then these are the Roberts quad trailers here. So it's a Roberts large 5-fin set. Worked really well at my weight, like I'm 215, and this is the 510, and I was using these fins the entire time through it. So it's a great board. I mean, if you have a dream catcher, or if you have a similar board to that, and you're looking for one board below it that has that similar round tail, like silky smooth feel, good high performance feel to it, and fast, it has a lot of range to it, the Dream Machine is an excellent board to check out. We've got them in stock here at Reel, the full size run, and we're also doing custom orders as well. Any questions about this board, give us a call, 252-987-6000, or check out more about it on the written review right below this video. Thanks again.